So welcome back here, 2014 PSP Mid-Atlantic Open. I'm Matty Marshall with Todd Martinez. So right now we have the D4 finals coming at you. 12 minutes in regulation time. This is a race to 4. Penalties are 1-for-1s and 2-for-1s, so no majors and minors out here. And we're watching Chicago Warp take on Absolute Chaos. Absolute Chaos gets right up to the 50-yard line and tries to look snakeside, gets his head peeled off, but he was able to trade out and get a shot on one of the Chicago Warp players. So 4-on-4 paintball right now, Todd.
Yeah, Absolute Chaos loses another body coming out to the snake side as well. So just 3 bodies left alive. They're over in the Dorito side corner, Dorito side tower, and the snake side can. 4 bodies left alive. Oh, and there goes another one for Chicago Warped. Getting shot out of that snake side can, so 3 bodies left alive for them. Looks like London Lewis over there comes out of the Dorito side tower for Absolute Chaos, jumps into Dorito 1. 3-on-3. Oh, nope, there goes another Chicago Warp player. And maybe the 4th.
Yeah,
oh, he
looks
like
clean.
he tucked that into the bunker right there on the inside. 2 bodies left alive. Still for Chicago Warp, crossed up in those cans.
And, well, at least they're crossed up, but the field is spread by Absolute Chaos, so they have better field position right now. And it looks like 3 players left alive for Absolute Chaos. 2 on the D side, 1 over here. And that inside bunker towards the snake, the little wing. And then now Absolute Chaos making their way up the D side of the field to the 50. And here comes Chicago Warped, somehow able to make it out of that spot.
And Chicago Warp loses 1 body as Absolute Chaos goes attacking down the Dorito side, able to peel them both off. And so after losing 2 bodies early, Absolute Chaos fighting back and keeping the rest of those 3 bodies alive. There you see them on the field right now as they're gonna hang the flag, get a check. And the first point gonna go to Chicago Warped. Absolute Chaos. Chicago Warp down 1. 10 minutes, 17 seconds left to go in this game. This is the D4 finals.
Yeah, it's a race to 4 points, so different than what we've been watching so far this weekend here in the divisional finals. D4 and 3 is a race to 4, and then D2 and 1 is a race to 5. 12 minutes in game time for D4 and D3, 15 minutes of game time for D2 and D1. After we watch these divisional finals, we will see the champs and challengers finals as well. But we love watching these divisional games because you never know who's going to be that next big team, Todd. We've seen Chicago Warped out here a couple times, so when you start to see that the same team get to these divisional finals, look for them to start moving up the ranks. And it looks like, I think DC Devastation, they're one of those good success stories. Started out D3 and then slowly but surely made their way up the ranks, now in D1, and I believe they're in the D1 final.
Yeah, DC Devastation, we watched them several times, a lot of dramatic games out of them. A lot of fun players to watch on that team. We have the 3rd Rabakov.
The youngest, Rabakov the younger.
Brandon Rabakov on that team. We get to watch Justin over here. He's in the pro finals playing with Edmonton Impact. And then, of course, our co-host from GI Sports, Steve Rabakov, longtime veteran pro player and champion up with us. So, it's fun to watch. It's fun to see a lot of the same players up here, see those names. Chicago Warp, they've been in this game. Min Win, Luke Thompson, Sam Marzo, William Chandler. They've been out here a couple times like we talked about. Absolute Chaos, their first time up here on the webcast in the D4 finals right now with the 1-0 lead right before the start of this point.
So right now, these teams switch sides. Now Chicago Warp will be on your left, Absolute Chaos on your right.
And Chicago Warp gonna drop the first body out of the snake side corner. They have the other 2 inside towers doubled up. And Absolute Chaos, they're gonna lose their Dorito side corner. Chaos went all the way up to the A on the break, shot up the middle, and dove into that fortress on the side of the A. There's Chicago Warp player trying to make a bump out of that snake side can into the snake side temple. He's gonna get chopped up, so just 3 bodies left alive now for Chicago Warped. Absolute Chaos player in the center getting a check right there. He's clean as the referee runs out. Absolute Chaos able to take that snake 1. Spread the field out a little bit wide. Chicago Warp still bottled up in the center.
Yeah, Well, it looked like it was evened up, but Luke Thompson and he's going to join Chandler coming off of Chicago Warp. So Absolute Chaos here with the 4-body advantage, trying to put another point on the board here in this race to 4. Good dominant field position. Absolute Chaos looks good, man.
Yeah, they do. They're making shots. They're moving and attacking once they get the bodies. So 4 are live on 2. Both players for Chicago Warped in that Dorito side tower. Shouldn't be very long before we see a Chaos player launch up the middle. Oh, and there goes another Chicago Warp player. Just 1 left alive now. Grabbing the flag and coming across again. There's Kimball on your screen right there in Snake 1. And there goes the final Chicago Warp player out of that tower. So 2 flag hangs for this man right here. As he's gonna turn around, check his teammates out, say, I got this, and go in and hang that flag.
Yeah, and it's Derek Shriver, looks like, with that hang. Daniel Kimball doing work for Absolute Chaos, 4 confirmed for him. So right now, Absolute Chaos dominating this match so far. Chicago Warp not putting up too much of a fight here. 8 minutes and 23 seconds to go. We're gonna be right back with more of this D4 final.
The Earth is beautiful. Earth is where we play paintball. It is important to recycle in order to save the Earth. Do not recycle custom paintball jersey designs. Get what you pay for. Get a fresh original design at rozalife.com.
Hey guys, I am in Absolute Chaos's pit right now. They are up 2 points. It is 0-2 and it is on them. Now, you guys have obviously been having a good weekend. How did you prepare for this weekend in this layout?
We practiced hard. We had a 2-day practice this past weekend, and we practiced the 3 weekends before that as well. So we're really coming together as a team, bringing it together. Dallas was our first tournament, and we got 8th there. We only had 1 practice before that, so we had more time to prepare this time, and it's looking good. I feel very confident about our team right now.
Well, that is amazing that you guys got 8th in Dallas, and now you're doing so well here. Do you think it's just the layout plays to your strengths, or how did you make that big of a leap?
Compared to the Dallas layout, yes, this does benefit our style a little bit more than the Dallas layout, but regardless, paintball's paintball. The other team has the same disadvantages and advantages that we do, so we just got to go out there and shoot them.
Absolutely. Anything can happen anytime. They're up 2 points right now, but we'll see if they keep the lead.
Well, I'll tell you what, they are definitely looking good. You know, I was just going to say, Todd, before we went to break, that it's just so impressive. You see these D4 guys, and, you know, if you went back even just 3, 4, 5 years ago, the level of play in Division 4 wasn't nearly what it is now. So to see a team like Absolute Chaos just get together, take 8th at the first event, get a couple practices under their belt before this one, and just dominating right now here against Chicago Warp. Let's see if Chicago Warp can get it back, though. They've been in this position before. They did lose in the final, though. They do not want to take second place twice in a row for getting this far. It's so hard to make it up. There's so, it's tough in the pros, obviously, but you got to understand, if you go out there and you don't play divisional paintball, like in D3, there were like 60 D3 teams. So the teams that we're going to watch come out here and play in the D3 final had to fight, and you have to have pretty much a perfect run in order to get to this game. So right now, London Lewis getting shot out from Absolute Chaos, as well as William Chandler from Chicago Warped. So it's all tied up here on the body count, 4 apiece. Well, it looks like another body comes off for Absolute Chaos. Spencer Kalman's coming off. Callahan. So Callahan. Spencer taking the walk early. And it looks like another body getting peeled off too. I think it's Anthony Tran.
So just 2 bodies left alive for Absolute Chaos. 4 bodies for Chicago Warped. Warped over here in the 50 Snake right now. Looking on the inside, trying to find bodies. That 50 Snake player shot out that second Dorito for Absolute Chaos, but he's still looking for bodies over there. There's nobody over there. Only 2 bodies over here on the Snake side. Chicago Warp needs to communicate a little bit better. Know where the kills are. They got 2 bodies looking towards that Dorito side. Got to see them come off as they get things sorted out.
Well, Chicago Warp looking real good in this point. 2 players in the Snake for them. High body situation, 4-on-2. It's just Kimball, it's just the 2 Kimballs, Daniel and Josh Kimball left alive for Absolute Chaos. And those are the 2 killers for that team. 4 for Daniel and 3 for Josh so far in these 2 points. So let's see if these 2 brothers can pull it out here.
There you see a shot of the Snake side for Chicago Warped. 2 bodies in there. There's Shiver.
Things have slowed down here. It's just 6 minutes and 20 seconds to go left in this D4 final match. Chicago Warped understands that. They also understand that, hey, it looks like they're talking it up too. Communication's so important on this layout. Again, you don't have a lot of time to work with in these D4 and D3 games, just 12 minutes on the game clock. Haven't seen any penalties yet.
Under 6 minutes now. Absolute Chaos, even though they are down bodies, they have a 2-0 lead. And every second that ticks off benefits them right now. And, when you're in these high body situations, the guy that is feeling the least amount of pressure is the guy that wants to look to make a move to try and open it up for the bodies that are in good field position to get kills off of a distraction play. Right now, Chicago Warp not really putting it together, just kind of sitting in their spots, shooting their guns.
5 minutes to go.
Another minute burns off the clock.
Well, this is exactly what the Kimballs needed to do. Daniel and Josh are right next to each other. They're on your screen right now. So all they need to do is talk it up and try to get killers. One right there. So it looks like that's number 60. Not sure who that was. Oh, Sam Marzo. So Sam Marzo coming off. So just 3 players for Chicago Warped. And it's going to be tough for him to go into this cross, Todd. Need to try to get up on the field on the D side, man. There's really not a lot of pressure coming from the Kimballs towards that D side of the field. That player over there is only looking at one guy. I'm sorry, not looking at any players in that field and only looking at one gun because these guys are crossing it up. So one's looking at the D side, one's looking at the Snake side. There's the Chicago War player. Look at all of these bunkers he has to work with. There's a nobody in front of him, lots to choose from. He only has to put one guy in. Is there a guy in the 50 on the D side, Todd?
He's in Dorito 2.
Is he in Dorito 2? Okay.
Yeah, Dorito 2.
Okay, yeah, so we couldn't even see him on the pan over. So then there is 3 players left alive for Absolute Chaos, right?
Yeah, Chicago Warp still seems to think there's a guy on the Dorito side. He just dove into Absolute Chaos's Snake and then gunned up across the field.
Man, that guy is,
again.
we joke about how guys just bring shovels out and dig a hole, but that D2 player literally has dug a hole over there because I haven't seen him even poke his head out.
And it gets a kill, and the player jumps into Dorito 3 and Post up across the field. And they're still looking for more bodies.
Oh, so there was no one over on the D2. Okay, so it was on D2 for Chicago Warped.
Yeah, just for Chicago Warped.
Yeah, I was saying there's only 2 players left alive for Chaos. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
oh, no, I'm sorry. I thought you meant, no, there ain't nobody over there for
that's
Absolute
we
Chaos.
did the pan across, and I'm like, because the thing was throwing me off. I'm like, okay, well, why has Warp not been charging? Because that guy's still alive, he was still over there. Chicago Warped had a player on the D side of the field. There was no one in front of him. The only guy shooting at him was way across the field, as far away as a player could get, and didn't make any forward progression. So that's why I was wondering, I'm like, is there another guy left that we just can't see? But no, but Chicago Warped now puts one on the board. Here we got ourselves a 1-point game with 3 minutes and 19 seconds. So after that long point, we're gonna take a short break. We'll be right back after that. So welcome back here to the 2014 PSP Mid-Atlantic Open. I'm Matty Marshall with Todd Martinez. We were watching the Division IV Finals. 3 minutes and 19 seconds remain. It's a 2-1 game. Both teams at five strong. And let's see who's going to take this championship here, the Mid-Atlantic Open. Heavy guns for Chicago Warped, and they start tearing apart Absolute Chaos. Absolute Chaos loses 2 off the break. 3 players left alive for them in the center of the field. They do have a player in D1. Chicago Warp makes a move up in the center to that defensive position. You can see their left-hand portion of the screen.
And just under 3 minutes now. It is a 5-on-3 in favor of Chicago Warp, but they are down 1 body. So they're going to have to orchestrate a push here and get this point to try and force it overtime. Points haven't been played so long throughout the weekend. Absolute Chaos in good position right now to cross up zones and force Chicago Warp to come into them. And there goes Chicago Warp making a bump into the 50 Snake. Nobody picks him up.
Yeah, nobody picks him up, Todd, and now he's trying to roll around. He's got to be careful, though. This is an important point for Warped, obviously, as they're down by 1. They got to try to tie it up. And the way that it works is there are overtime shootouts on Sunday's competition. Should this game go to a tie through an overtime, 3-minute overtime period, then we'll go to 1-on-1 shootouts. But right now, Absolute Chaos will win this game if a point is not scored by Chicago Warp. They have 5 players alive, though, Todd.
Yeah, Chicago Warp player in the 50 Snake. He's got his loader off of his gun right now. Might have broke some paint as he dove in.
Finally got his gun back up, though.
But Chicago Warp finally getting out of that Dorito side tower, jumps up into Dorito 2.
Here comes a move. Chicago Warped up in the center. They are starting to take positions to launch their attack. Just a minute and 19 seconds to go. Nguyen in the Snake. Can Nguyen try to get that crossfield shot on D1? D1 is just locked into his zone. Absolute Chaos. Kimball, London Lewis, and Spencer Callahan left alive for them to try to win this tournament for them right now. And they just have a minute left to do it. All they have to do is cross it up. Oh, it looks like a shot. Yeah, so I think that is that London Lewis? No, I think that's Kimball. 22.
48 seconds left to go.
Well, body coming off for Absolute Chaos. Another one drops, just one left alive. I think we're gonna see a tie game here, Todd. Hammer gets dropped in the center. Nice work by Chicago Warp to stay composed and stay in this game. And they're gonna be able to hang it up here with 31 seconds to go. which means we're most likely going to go to an overtime point, as it's almost impossible to score a 30-second point. We have seen a couple points scored quickly here on this field layout before in this tournament. Let's check in with Lauren. She's down in the pits.
Hey, I am down here in Chicago Warp's pit with Robert. Now, you are the coach. You were watching here. How were you feeling as the clock was ticking down and you were so close to tying it up?
I was pretty anxious. I'm glad that we got it done, and I knew they could do it.
Well, you guys have 31.6 seconds on the clock. How confident are you that you guys can take this win in this last 31 seconds, or do you think you'll go into overtime?
We're going to continue to fight until the end. Hopefully we can finish it out, but we're going to fight until the end.
All right, Maddie. Well, they got second in Dallas, so I know they really want this first. We'll see if Warped can take the lead and win first place.
Yeah, so Chicago Warped in Dallas, they actually went up 3-1. It looked like they had the game in the bag, Todd, but they were just not able to do it.
Yeah, sometimes, you're playing, you're feeling good, you feel like you got the game in the bag, and then the team just comes back on you and you end up taking second place. But, right now, a little bit better situation, able to tie it up. 2-2 ball game, 31 seconds left to go. I doubt they're going to be able to score, either team will be able to score a point here in this 31 seconds. We're probably going to see an overtime point.
Yeah, and with these long points, we could potentially see a one-on-one shootout too, our first of the tournament and the first of the year. We haven't seen one of those this year. We did see one last year though. But yeah, so is it going to be Chicago Warped coming back to win this one? They went down 2-0 early and we're able to fight back to tie it up right now. So with I agree with you, Todd. I really don't think, and that's not really that much of a proclamation. Neither one of these teams should be able to score a point in 31 seconds. We've seen so many long points this weekend, and unless you see 3 bodies drop from one team and none from the other, I doubt that anyone's going to be able to score a point here in 31 seconds.
Yeah, the important thing is don't get a penalty and end up having to play overtime down a body, as looks like Absolute Chaos loses 1 body on the break. Chicago Warp keeps all 5 bodies alive, and looks like there goes 1 Warp player down. Warped up into A right now, wheeling and dealing. Looking to come through. He's going to go on the run through.
He's giving it a shot, man. Hey, the coach did not lie. He said they were going to fight to the end, and they definitely are fought to the end. And a valiant effort by Chicago Warped to try to actually win this match. And sometimes that does work, though, when you're in a low time situation and you think the other team is just going to try to play defensively. Sometimes if you decide to go on the attack, they'll be surprised because they think that you might do the same that they're going to do.
Yeah, and the thing is that if you go on that attack, go through and make sure that you just don't get any penalties. Sometimes you can force the other team to get a penalty, which definitely works out in your favor, either by getting a point or by forcing the other team to play down a body in overtime. But the thing you want to make sure you do is don't go up there and grab an unnecessary penalty just for the sake of trying to run through and shoot people.
Yeah, that's a good point. So we are going to head to overtime. We're going to throw 3 minutes on the clock, and we'll be right back after this.
Are you ready for an explosion of paintball videos? Then stay tuned to paintballaccess.com because the CXBL is back for their 10th anniversary season. Catch all the best pro talent north of the border as teams battle it out in full X-Ball matches. Paintballaccess.com, on the field, in the pits, behind the scenes.
So is it going to be Chicago Warp taking this D4 championship here at MAO, or is it going to be Absolute Chaos? Absolute Chaos looked great to start this out, but Chicago Warp, man, definitely they fought to get back in this matchup. They didn't look good to start it out, but in those first couple points, I was thinking to myself, man, I think Absolute Chaos might run away with this. This doesn't look like the Chicago Warp team that we saw in Dallas, even though they did end up losing that one 4-3. They look great, though, in that loss still.
Yeah, Chicago Warp did a good job of picking up the Absolute Chaos player coming up the middle of the field on the break both times. And
well, this should be interesting. You think they're just going to turn around and blaze these guys?
I would. They stopped the clock, so this wouldn't be silly.
Well, that's good. You know, hey, they're playing for a win. This is for a tournament win.
Yeah, this is for the finals.
You know how hard these guys fought to get here? There's no way that the PSP is going to let that happen, so they're going to throw a couple more seconds, and here we go. So on the breakout, Chicago Warped, much more conservative breakout for them. They do lose a body, but it looks like Absolute Chaos loses one as well too. But they do get a player into D2, Todd.
And there goes Chicago Warp coming out into the wing on the side of the snake. Referee gonna run over and give him a check. Did he make it in there clean? He sure did. 4 bodies alive for Chicago Warped. Looks like still 4 bodies alive for Absolute Chaos, so.
Yeah, so time is ticking off now. Are we gonna go to a one-on-one shootout? Oh, body comes off for Chicago Warped. Cannot get small enough in that stand-up temple in the backfield. It's now 3 players left alive for them. So though Absolute Chaos does have a 1 body advantage, 4 players alive for them, can they do anything with it? Or are we gonna see those one-on-one shootouts? Little adjustment in the placement of players for Absolute Chaos as they swing a body out over here on the snake side to try to give their guy out here a little help.
4 bodies on 3.
It's Engel. So Engel, Lance Engel, I think that's London Lewis behind him. Yeah, so London Lewis, oh, but Engel gets shot. So now London Lewis, and London Lewis looks like he's got a ball jam. And he's gonna try to dig out wide. Let's see if does he get picked up. He ran into 1 gun. I think he made it out there clean. So I think just 3 players left alive for these 2 teams. It's Marzo, Nguyen, and Erlinger.
And here comes through the middle. Absolute Chaos player goes to that Dorito side can. And Wynn is able to slip underneath. And here it comes on the attack, looking to get a shot at him. And I believe he does. Nice move right there. Not waiting for Wynn to get set up and get a shot at him. Attacks the A, shoots Wynn in the side, and gives Absolute Chaos the body advantage. So just 2 Warp players left alive in the towers in the middle of the field. Crossed up.
Yeah, but look at this though, Todd. This is the player over there. I think this is London Lewis in the corner bunker. It is. So London Lewis, his loader is broken. And now here comes the push. Is he gonna get it or is he gonna trade out? Ooh, that might be a penalty. One of them comes out, so there's still 1 left alive. But I think there's gonna have enough time. Look at that, he's just gonna run for the flag.
He doesn't know there's still a body left alive.
And he gets picked up, so I think we're gonna have a one-on-one shootout, Todd. Look at that, so number 17 from Absolute Chaos. I think that was, no, that was Engel. Now London Lewis, he's gonna have enough time, so Chicago Warped will be triumphant here. And after losing in Dallas and letting a 3-1 lead slip away in Dallas, Chicago Warped a comeback victory here. Uh-oh, the referees though, checking them out. Let's see what's going on here. No, I think they do take the victory. This is a thumbs up sign. The hang is good. So congratulations to Chicago Warped. They initially went down 2-0 and then scoring 3 unanswered points to take this D4 final game here. Chicago Warped handling business, and they are triumphant in the pits. Wow, incredible performance and ecstatic Chicago Warped. Man, and that's why you play right there. That's why paintball's fun, because of moments exactly. Look at the emotion on these guys' faces right here. Amazing work by Chicago Warped and this come from behind victory. And it was unfortunate for Absolute Chaos. It looked like they were gonna take it, but London Lewis had some malfunctions in his equipment. It wasn't his fault though. Some of their guys just dropped the ball there, Todd. It looked like in that run through, the second to last player for Absolute Chaos went to sleep. Didn't realize that there was still 1 guy left alive. He got smoked.
Yeah, I mean, he took off running, grabbed the flag, thought he was gonna run it in. I guess it's a good thing for him he didn't start fist pumping and cheering and stuff. That would have looked ugly. But, I mean.
Well, the Absolute Chaos, the last guy for Absolute Chaos totally thought they had the game in the bag. You know,
yeah,
I mean, they thought they had the game in the bag when he grabbed the flag, didn't realize there was 1 player left alive, and no, unfortunately, this time it was definitely in the bag for Chicago Warped. Let's check in with Lauren Kelly.
All right, well, you guys just won. Congratulations. You beat Absolute Chaos with like 12 seconds left on the clock, tied game. What were you thinking as you saw one of their players running down the field? He thought everyone was dead. He was going to hang the flag. What ran through your mind?
Awesome. You know, they had 3 guys alive, and I don't know where the miscommunication came from. They went for the flag, and it was pretty easy to shoot 3 guys running in the open.
You guys were looking strong out there for sure. You got second place in Dallas, so how much did this first place mean to you?
Oh, it was awesome. You know, it wasn't said before, but we worked really hard at Dallas as well. We shoot 60 cases a weekend on this layout. Work real hard. It's never in the bag. We cut that kid, and hard work pays off.
All right, well, congratulations. That Chicago Warped, they just won first place. Great job. Stay tuned. We'll have D3 coming up.
Hi, Mom.
Redemption is Chicago Warps. Finally, they redeemed themselves from that loss that they took in Dallas. But hey, man, a second place and a first place, and we talk about, hey, you watch these divisional games because you want to see who the big teams are going to be next couple years. And Chicago Warp, man, they look pretty good. Second place in Dallas, first place here, Dallas Open. Congratulations to them. But next up, we are going to have the D3 final matchup. Looking forward to that one, and also cannot wait for this afternoon's competition in the Champs and Challengers Finals games. So we'll be right back. Do not go anywhere.